Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This your brother Nawak coming at you with another lesson. I want to entitle this lesson, The Riches of This World Can't Save You. And that's a fact. But most people, they're thinking about what they can see, what they can have, what's right in front of them. Only thing they can see is the material things that are in this world. They want nice things, cars, houses, clothes, shoes, all of these things. There's nothing wrong with having these things. But what happens is our people, specifically Jake, he gets wrapped up into all of the things he can have, material things. And they're willing to do almost any and everything to get those things. See? But that's not how you should be, specifically, especially at this time. At the time we're living in now, we're in the last days. People are out here struggling. Everything is changing in the world. The dollar is crashing. The whole system is getting ready to be turned over. See, we're coming into a time to where there's going to be a digital system. Everything is going to be completely changed. See? And people are still thinking about having Gucci bags and Prada and all of these different expensive items, as if those things are going to save you, specifically in the time that's coming. See, but those of us who know what's coming, who know that Jacob's trouble is right around the corner, who know these things, the MOTB is getting ready to come out and become mandatory, who know that there's going to be martial law, civil war out here. All of these different things are set to happen according to the prophecies of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Our people are still out here thinking about what they can have, how many cars they can drive, and, how much money they can get. All of these things are getting ready to pass away. All of these things are getting ready to be destroyed. See? Those things, people, they're going to soon find out that the main thing they're going to want real soon is salvation. That's going to be real valuable. And the thing about it is you're not going to be able to pay for it. No amount of money in the world. You could be a trillionaire. You can have trillions of dollars. It don't matter how much you have. It don't matter what you have. That's not going to be able to save you in the time that's coming. See, the time that's coming, the Lord is getting ready to deliver his elect, because there's getting ready to be a lot of death and destruction in this world, specifically during the time of World War III. When them thermonuclear missiles are launched from all these different countries, most of them going to hit right over here in Babylon the Great, aka America. You're not going to be thinking about your nice Gucci bags and your fancy clothes and your fancy sunglasses and your nice cars and all of these different things that our people covet after, specifically Jake. See? They flashing money. They show Jake in these different rap videos, flashing money, doing all of these different things to basically lure our people into thinking that's what they need to be focused on. But really, in reality, you need to have your focus and trust in the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, our true power. Everything you have, you're not going to be able to take it with you. Matter of fact, it's going to be destroyed. It's getting ready to be destroyed. Only thing that's going to be getting beamed up out of here is the elect, okay? The elect of Israel. Those are the ones that are going to be getting beamed up on those chariots, whom people ignorantly call UFOs. Those are the vehicles that the Lord is going to use for our salvation. See, because as those warheads, those missiles are coming down to get ready to completely wipe out Babylon the Great, and they're going to hit in other places of the world, people are going to be down here getting burnt up. But like I said, before they hit, the Lord is going to have his elect beamed up out of here. Simultaneously as they coming down, The elect is going to be getting scarcely saved, getting beamed up out of here. And it's going to happen fast. See, the deliverance, as the scriptures say, is going to be so great, it's going to eclipse the deliverance of back in ancient Egypt when we were passing through the Red Sea. See, when Moses split the Red Sea, we walked through on dry ground. That was the greatest deliverance ever that has ever happened. See, but the deliverance that's about to take place on the earth, coming in these next few days, coming real soon, because we see all the signs. Hey, the Lord is getting ready to deliver his elect. And we're going to be saved out of the destruction. And we're not thinking about having nice Gucci bags and clothes and shoes and cars and all of these different things that Jake is coveting after, thinking that they blessed, willing to do any and everything to have it. See, they're going to find out real soon that they made a grave mistake, walking by the prophets, ignoring us, thinking we bums, thinking we nobody, thinking that the words that we're speaking is not going to help them in no kind of way. They just walk right by, laugh, scoff, not knowing that these very words that the Lord has his men, his prophets speaking, is the words in the words of salvation. See, this word of truth is what you're going to want to have in the times that's coming. You're going to want to know the names, Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, because the elect is going to be calling on those names. And the Lord says that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord, the same shall be saved. Not because you got all these nice Gucci bags and different clothes and glasses and all of these different fancy things and hats and clothes and cars and houses and all of these different things that people think that's the most important thing, but it's not. It's not the most important thing. The most important thing is having a relationship with the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, and getting this word, getting this true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. See, from the Lord's word, from the scriptures, and knowing the prophecies. Now, I want to play this video clip. This lady you see on the screen, she kind of goes into how people covet after these nice things, and they actually think that having different rich or expensive items is actually makes them blessed. So with that, I'm going to roll this video, and then I want to get into some scriptures.
So there's something I want to talk about, and a lot of y'all may not like what I'm about to say, but guess what? If the shoe fits, wear it. I keep seeing a lot of individuals say that they're blessed because they're able to eat a $200 steak, because they got a rollie on their wrist, because they're driving a $300,000 car, because they're wearing Gucci, Louis, Prada, Dior, Versace. While all of those things are nice to have, that does not make you blessed. As quick as you got all of those material things, it's as quick as God will take it away. You see, being blessed is being able to open up your eyes every day and live another day of life. Having air in your lungs to breathe, being able to see with your two eyes, being able to feel, being able to touch, being able to smell, being able to hear, being able to walk. Being blessed is also being able to be surrounded by your loved ones, to live a healthy life, being able to provide for your family, for yourself, a roof over your head, food on the table, clothes on your back, walking through fire, going through hell, fighting demons, trials and tribulations, and living to fight another day. A lot of y'all got it real confused. And y'all need to be more humble and realize that what you have does not make you blessed. Material things do not make you blessed, nor does it make you better than anyone else.
Yep, and that's another thing too.
Life,
Jake actually thinks that
being able to smell, being able to hear, being able to walk,
because he or she has all of these nice things, they think they better than somebody else. See, the very one you scoffing at, or the very one you putting down because they don't have as nice of things as you have, it could be the very same person that the Lord is getting ready to deliver out of here. While all this fire is down here and you down here getting burnt up, tormented in this fire, that person who you're talking about, the person who you downing, the person who you think is nothing because they don't have the most expensive things. They're not living as nice as you. That's the very person that the Lord may be set to beam up out of here. The one that the Lord is going to ultimately deliver and leave you behind with all of your nice things, in which you and those things are getting ready to be burnt up down here. See, people don't know about the destruction. See, they know that there are thermonuclear missiles in the world, but they're not thinking they're going to be launched. They're not thinking that they need the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, ultimately, because they got all of these nice things. See? So with that, I want to get into some scriptures. I want to first start out in the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7, and verse 31. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7, and verse 31. It says, and they that use this world as not abusing it. See, we know, everybody knows you got to pay your bills. You got to have food. You got to have gas, or all of the necessities to get by in this life, to get by in this world. That's all you really truly need. See, it says, for the fashion of this world passeth away. See, we're living in Esau's rulership right now. He's living in his heaven. See, but he's getting ready to be taken down by the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Can't you see all the signs? Can't you see that the wars and rumors of wars is ramping up? The earthquakes in diverse places. There's all kind of volcanoes. We've been having all kinds of tornadoes and hurricanes, floods and droughts. All of these are signs from the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, let alone the signs from the heavens with the blood moons, the solar eclipses, the lunar eclipses. All of these things are signs from the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, that this world, the one we currently living in, is getting ready to pass away. And I'm not talking about the earth. The earth abideth forever. I'm talking about Esau's wicked rulership. See, all of you invested in this world, trying to make it, trying to have nice things, trying to have what they call generational wealth. You all wrapped up into everything except the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Well, you don't know there's a day coming where this place is getting ready to burn like an oven. And all the ones, as the scriptures say, that do wickedly, you're going to be down here getting burnt up right along with all that stuff, all that quote unquote nice stuff that you have, that you thought was the best thing going. You're going to find out real soon that what you really needed was the word of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. See? Let's get this. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8. Proverbs, chapter 8, and verse 10. Yep. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, and verse 10. Let me get that one more time. Chapter 8. What did I put? And verse 10. Why didn't it come up? Give me 1 second. I'm just going to start out from the top. Let's get this. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8. I'm going to start at verse 10. It says, receive my instruction. See? Receive my instruction, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. So, recently the price of gold has shot through the roof, and there's nothing wrong with having silver or gold. But what's going to prove most valuable in the times that we're coming into is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. It's understanding and knowing the prophecies. See, to what's to come. How are you going to be able to prepare when you're not even thinking about the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, nor his prophecies? You more wrapped up into trying to get the next car or the next Gucci bag or whatever else you're thinking about. All of those things, you got your mind on the wrong thing. Verse 11, it says, for wisdom is better than rubies, and all things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. See, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is more valuable than anything you can have. More valuable than gold, silver, rubies, nice clothes, bags, houses, cars. It's still our people, they just don't see it. They still don't see it. They actually think that if I can just get this next car or this next house, or if I can just get some more money, if I can go from 1 million to 2 million, if they can, you got your mind in the wrong place. See, ultimately, those things are not going to save you in the times that we're coming into. See, it says, I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and find out knowledge and witty inventions. The fear of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and an evil way, and a forward mouth I do hate. And a lot of times, people you find, it don't matter who they are, you find people that have a lot of nice things. They got this arrogancy and pride about them. They're looking down and they stubbing their nose up at people. They thinking that everything revolves around them. They really, really got their head in the clouds. They really, really thinking that, hey, they the man or they the woman and everybody else is beneath them. Not understanding that the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is getting ready to bring destruction to this place. And everything you've been built up and you call dear to you is getting ready to be destroyed. It says, counsel is mine and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength. By me, kings reign and princes decree justice. See, that's the power of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai through his word. This wisdom is what's going to ultimately lead us into the kingdom. Everybody else, they're going to be down here burning up with their riches. They're not going to be able to escape the destruction of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai because they got on some nice shoes. See, it says, verse 16, it says, by me princes rule and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. It says, I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. And that's, if you are the elect of the hopeful elect, you seeking the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. You want to please the Lord. You're not seeking all of these material things. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with having these things. But when you have your love wrapped up into having things instead of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, that's an idol before the Lord. See? And the Lord said, you will have no other gods or idols or bow down to idols or any of those things. Have any of those things for the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. See? He will destroy you with that alone. You should only worship the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. It says, verse 18, riches and honor are with me, yea, durable riches and righteousness. So the real true riches is with the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. See? With his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and righteousness. See, the Lord is coming back for the righteous. He's not coming back for the sinners. He's not coming back for the ones who thought because they had the nicest things, I'm going to be first. You're not only going to be last, you're not going to get delivered. You're not even going to be able to get up out of here. See? So the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, he has this thing set up to where the elect, they're going to be focused on him. They're going to be focused on his word. They're not going to be thinking about having, building up wealth and adding to their collection of shirts or hats or whatever. People are really, really into that kind of stuff. See? It's like I said, there's nothing wrong with having nice things, but it's when those things take over. When they take over your mind, when you put those things before the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. See? Those are the ones that the Lord is not going to deliver in these last days. Now let's get this in the book of Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 23. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 23. This Yahushua speaking. It says, and then said Yahushua unto his disciples, verily I say unto you, meaning truly I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. Why is that? Because most times people who are rich, they got their trust in their riches. They don't have their trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. You think the Lord is coming to save a man or woman who worship the things that they have, and they're not praising him, and they're not thinking about him? See, they're not praising the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. Verse 24, and I say again unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. And the eye of a needle is not talking about a needle for sewing. That's talking about a small space. See, a very small space for a camel. They would have to stoop down, and they would have to very slowly try to creep them through that small space. See, it's almost impossible. This is what the Lord is saying. It's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Will rich people enter to the kingdom? Very few. See, it's not the norm. It's not the norm. The Lord is coming back to get the meek. See, the poor and the meek. That's who the Lord is coming back for. See? So, hey, not too many. It's going to be very select few people who have riches are going to be able to, are of the elect, because ultimately the Lord made it to where, hey, they have nice things, but they're not wrapped up into those things. This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 5. This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 5. It says, perverse disputings of men corrupt minds, and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. For such withdraw thyself. See, you don't want to be dealing with a person, all they think about is gain, okay? Because they think it's godliness. It says, for such withdraw thyself. Those people are going to lead you to destruction because they got their mind wrapped up into what they got. They think that their gain is godliness, and they're going off completely. It says, but godliness is with contentment. With contentment is great gain. See? Godliness with contentment is great gain. Be content on what the Lord has blessed you with. Long as you're able to eat, clothes over your head, something to drink, and the Lord, hey, he's covering you. That's all you really need. Because we know this world is getting ready to pass away. We close to the end of Esau's wicked rulership. It's getting ready to be burnt up and destroyed. See? So the real thing you should be wanting and praying for is that the Lord keeps you and that you get delivered at the end of this thing. Verse 7, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. For the ones getting beamed up out of here, you're not even going to take your body. The bodies that we have, the Lord is going to change. These are corruptible bodies that we have. We're getting ready to receive incorruptible bodies. The Lord is getting ready to make his elect, starting with the elect of Israel. We're going to be made perfect. Like I said, you won't be taking your Gucci bag and your Lamborghini and all of these nice things. You're not taking none of that with you. See? That's why it's hardly that a rich man will enter to the kingdom, because they got their mind on what they have. They're not thinking about the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. It says, for having food and raiment, let us be wherewith content. Like I just said, if the Lord is giving you your basics, your necessities, you blessed. You blessed. Only thing you need is your necessities, and you need the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. You need this word. See? Only thing you really want to do is endure unto the end. As the scriptures say, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. The most thing that people are going to want real soon is to be saved from the destruction. And they're going to find out real quick nothing they have is going to be able to save them. It says, verse 9, it says, but they that be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. See, all of these things, most people can't handle it. They thinking that's all they need is they stuff. They not thinking about the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. And a lot of times they're willing to do any and everything. See, a lot of the people we know in Hollywood, they done had to do all kinds of sick rituals, drinking blood and all kind of madness. I was just listening to a video from the elder Apostle Aramlab from GMS. He was talking about how a lot of people, in order to move up in this world, specifically in Hollywood, they make you do all of these sick acts of drinking all kinds of nasty stuff and doing all kinds of nasty acts, stuff where a lot of the people who are into that stuff, they don't even have any mirrors in their house because they can't look at themselves for all of the things that they've done to acquire or to get to the next level. It's just not worth it. See, you get wrapped up into destruction and perdition. That's what happens when you sell out and you just thinking about the riches of this world. Verse 10, it says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. It didn't say having money is evil. It said, for the love of money. You worshiping your money. You love your money. You're not thinking about the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The love of money is the root of evil. It says, for while some covet after, says they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. You see, you're not thinking, like I said, you're not thinking you need the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai when you got everything. You can eat anything you want to eat. You can go anywhere you want to go. You got everything that you can possibly have. You can get anything you want. You thinking you blessed. But really, you've erred from the faith. You're not even going to be thinking about believing in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Most people in that scenario, in that setup, see, it's hardly that a rich man will enter into the kingdom. So the blessed one is the one that the Lord is just giving you your basics. You're content with what the Lord has blessed you with. And hey, the Lord is with you. And you know his word and you know his prophecies. And you got the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. You're going to be calling on those names. But everybody else out here with their riches and everything else they have, it's not going to work. It's not going to help them. You're not going to be able to make a Gucci bag offer or a stack offer to the Lord. Not only will you be rejected, the Lord will destroy you. See? You're not going to have anything to offer. See, that's why you should be, I'm going to get into these next scriptures. You should be storing up your treasures in heaven. Let's get this in St. Matthew, chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 19. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 19. It says, lay not up for yourself treasures upon the earth. That's plain. That's plain. People, a lot of our people and a lot of people on this earth, they laying up treasures on the earth. They think they stacking stacks. They thinking that the stuff that they're building up in this world is ultimately what's making them blessed or what's making them good. They are good. It says where moth and rust does corrupt and where thieves break through and steal. See, everything that's on this earth is corruptible. Everything can be rusted. Moths can eat the clothes up. See, ultimately they're gonna be all destroyed. Specifically, right here in Babylon the Great, ain't nothing gonna be left here. It's gonna be one big desert after the fire goes out. That means everything finna be burnt up. Everything, houses, buildings, cars, everything. There's nothing gonna be left. It says, verse 20, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through and steal. See, everything you do for the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, you storing up in the heavens. You storing up in the heavens. Every time you bless the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, you do the work of the Lord, you're teaching your lessons, you're giving to the ministry. Everything that you're doing, all the things that you're doing, the Lord is marking it down and they're being stored in heaven. And nobody can take that away. Moth nor rust does corrupt, nor thieves can break through and steal that. Those are heavenly treasures. See, that's being built up. And in the time of Jacob's trouble, hey, you're going to be wanting to cash in on that. See, the Lord is going to be with the elect, the ones that believed in him, the one that trust in him, the ones that have been storing up their treasures in heaven, not on this earth. Verse 21, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So if you got your mind on this world, that's what you're going to have, the things of this world. But if you have your mind on the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, you're storing up your treasures in heaven. See? And that's the most important thing you should be doing. We should all be storing up our treasures in heaven by doing the work of the Lord, doing things that please the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, spending time with the Lord. See, when you're studying his word, you're supping with him. When you're praying, you're supping with him. The Lord is supping with you. Those are the things that you should be focused on instead of thinking about the riches of the stuff in this world. While you getting beamed up, Lord willing, everybody else down here with their things is getting ready to be burnt up. Now from there, let's get to some Proverbs. Getting towards the end of this, let's get to some Proverbs real quick. Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 4. This is Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 4. It says, riches profit not, see that, in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. See, the Lord is coming back for the righteous. He's not coming back for the sinners, and he definitely not coming back for the one that has the most riches on this earth. You last. See, the Lord is not looking for people who just thinking about their money and their riches. Riches profit not in a day of wrath. You're not going to be able to pay the Lord off to get beamed up on a chariot when that fire and brimstone is coming down, that thermonuclear destruction. It says the riches of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. See, the Lord is going to destroy Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the wicked, the one that's ruling right now. He was set up to rule for a short period of time. And while you worshiping him and the things that he have, and you trying to pattern yourself after him and be like him, because he's living in his heaven right now. But his heaven is getting ready to pass away with a great noise, as the scripture says, during that third world's war, with that thermonuclear destruction. This place is getting ready to be burnt up. It's getting ready to be destroyed. The scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, shoot all the arrows. Those arrows are talking about nuclear missiles. These countries are getting ready to unload, and most of them going to hit right over here in Babylon, the great, aka America. This place getting ready to be wiped out. So you should be focused on the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, storing up your treasures in the heavens. Now let's close out here. Let me get this. Let's get this in the book of Wisdom of Solomon. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 20. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 20. It says, therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. And isn't that what the Lord has been giving us? through the spirit and power of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. He's been teaching us his word. See, he has his men out here, his prophets, breaking down the prophecies. Those are the things that's going to ultimately lead us to the kingdom, starting with salvation. And as we, like I said, when we getting beamed up out of here, the scripture says we're going to be changed. We're going to shed these corruptible bodies, and we're going to be beamed up, and we're going to instantly receive those incorruptible bodies. See? And the Lord is going to give us those laws, statutes, and commandments. He's going to put them on our inward parts, which is the second covenant, which we're not into right now. We're going to get it when the Lord comes back. Lord willing, we receive that new covenant, the second covenant, and the Lord is going to make us perfect. He's going to make us sinless. The wages of sin is death. So if we're never going to be able to sin, that means we're never going to be able to die. We're going to be immortal. So the Lord is getting ready to completely change the elect of Israel, starting with the elect. The elect will be beamed up out of here and delivered into safety and escape the judgment of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, with that fire and brimstone that's going to be down here, burning this place up. See, those are the ones that had their focus on the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, and pleasing the Lord. See, doing the work of the Lord. See, all of the things that the Lord, the Lord is looking for the ones that was working to please him, doing his work, giving to the ministry, being brotherly, doing all of the things that the Lord say, yep, that's my servant. That's my disciple. That's my believer down there. See, they're doing all of the things, see, that they're supposed to be doing. Everybody else down here trying to acquire wealth and trying to acquire things. Verse 21, it says, if your delight be in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. So ultimately, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that the Lord is giving us is going to lead us to the kingdom, ultimately leading us to the kingdom of heaven. So after we're beamed up and the destruction is over, we're going to come back down on this earth, and then the kingdom is getting ready to be set up. See? We're going to clean the house. We're going to clean house. All of these rich people in these bunkers are going to be pulled out, and they're going to go right into shackles. They're going to be working. They're going to be building up the kingdom. See? Because the kingdom is for the Israelites under Yahweh Shem Shai. We're getting ready to rule in the next kingdom to come. See? While everybody else, they got their focus on building up a kingdom that's getting ready to be taken down. A kingdom that's getting ready to be destroyed. They got their focus in the wrong place. And we just thank the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. He's brought us into this truth. And that we're getting built up, and we're building up our treasures in heaven. And we know the names of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. And with that, I hope that you were edified by this lesson. This has been the riches of this world can't save you. I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makan Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.